Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Chetan, and we'll be covering basic commands from Linux. And these are the very basic commands like ls, cat, mkdir, head, cut, mv. Definitely, we'll be going one by one. We have also learned a couple of these commands from last. But before even we proceed further, I would really like to know how many of you know these commands, and probably if you would like to skip it, or is it okay if we can just have a basic introduction for these? I want to have that so that I can cover more detailed explanation on more focused commands or main important topics rather than going for the basics one. So, do you have any concerns regarding if these are being very basic commands and we should be going forward? Then you can tell me right away. As per voting, we can choose to decide if we are going to continue with the same commands or not. Do you have any suggestions, all the listeners? You can just tell it verbally. Just want to know how many of you have known this command. We have used it quite often.
Maybe Chetan, you can
Okay.
tell them how
hmm
they can ask orally.
Okay. I think two people know, but I think two people also voted for. We can go ahead.
Mm. Okay.
Anyways, I'll start with the basics ones, anyways. So I've installed a terminal in Windows 10. So, of course, this is not a typical Linux system, it's only the shell I'm currently using. And definitely, I can have basic Linux command running with this terminal. So, for today's session, it is completely fine if I use this terminal, considering a basic uh, Linux commands. So first command we have is ls. That's it. I don't have anything, so that's why ls returns no output. To check for any help on any of the command, you can write man ls. So that is man space command name. That is how we can get manual pages for the ls command. Okay, since this is not a complete Linux, it may not have it. Okay, thankfully we have it. It's listing the directory contents and we have multiple options like -a and everything. So if I create a few files like A, B, C, D as an example, and then if I do ls, I will see that all these files are getting created. If I want to have more details, then I can simply have -l switch, that's it. That is make a list out of it. If I want to have, well, these are ls-l will provide you all the information in KB. So currently this 0 means simply 0 KB. If we append more files to this particular file, then in that case all the file size will be written in KB. If we want to have that in human readable formats, that is MB, KB, GB, then we'll add just H switch out of it. Just a moment. So if the question, a difference between ls-a versus ls-lb. Quite honest, I haven't used ls-lb. Let's try out ls-lb. So the only and well, the main difference when we add a, that is means all, we can check that from manual pages from ls. So a means all. Do not ignore entries starting with even dot. So basically all the hidden files, so all the hidden files are start with dot, and this in currently, this dot means a current directory and these two dots meanings the previous directory. And that's why we say if we do cd space dot dot, then in that case we'll be moving to backward directly. I'm at currently home directory, and if I go to LLB once again, if I do pwd, then that's how we go to the next directory. So double dot meaning this particular file which is present in each and every file, and this is basically directory or basically a link to a previous folder. What is that? CD and CD dot? CD. So even if I go to user local, or see my favorite location, var log. Okay, so I'm currently at some weird location called var log. This is my favorite location because it has most of our logs present in any of the Linux system. What if I want to go back to my home folder? I'll be simply using cd command, enter, and I'll simply go to my home directory. So that's where cd command is all about. If you just enter cd, it's gonna give me my home folder path. Next command I can have is cd space hyphen, which will give me my old directory location, that is var log. So cd hyphen will give me my last command, the last executed location. So if I suppose go to user local bin, they don't have anything in user local bin as of now. But if I do cd hyphen here, I'll go to var log once again. So that's the difference, or that's the main reason or funda behind this hyphen symbol.
Chetan,
Hmm.
you have a question from Mr. Shiv.
Okay.
Shiv, you can ask your question orally.
Yeah, I done. I done. It's clear. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Sure. Next, I would like to have, let's say I'm currently present at whichever location I can be. It's in user local bin, or I can be in log, but I want to move to my LLB folder, Let's Learn Bioinformatics folder, which is present in my home directory. So there are total two ways to navigate to that particular directory. First of all, the tedious one is using a complete folder path, that is my home directory and then LLB. This is one path, or I can simply do cd space tilde slash LLB. So tilde meaning your own home directory. That's a shortcut in Linux. Tilde is your home directory. So I can simply have tilde slash LLB and then enter. That's it. I'm again at our LLB folder. By the way, to create this particular file, to create all this file, I have created one single command, and I've got created all these files. The command was touch 1 2 3. So I can have the file name as 1 2 3 as well. Let's see. By the way, the ll command is tweaked one, and that's why we are having time for pwd and then ls-lh as output. So that's my tweaked command ll. Now let's try to edit or add some content to any of the file, or let's first remove it just to clear my screen. A B C D 1 2 3. That's it. Since these are completely empty files, I can remove it without any error. So if we do it right now, there will be no issue at all. I want to create a file with some text like hello world. That's the very classic example, and my file 1 cat file 1. Okay, let's learn about these commands now. So first I want to create a file with particular string involved or particular just some text written in it by default. To do that, I've used another command echo, and then I've pasted a message using greater than symbol, which is override operator, and I've created a new file called file1. So how many actions we are performing right now? It's first of all echo, which will display whatever output or whatever command mentioned in double quotes or single quotes. That's first command. Second command or operator we can consider as greater than symbol, that is override, and to a file name which is not exactly present, so it will be creating a file, and that's how it gets created file. So total 3 to 4 operations we are performing in this one particular command. Next is we are simply viewing a file using cat command. That's our text which we have written here, and I've simply removed the file. Just give me a minute. You must be aware of this particular file, or you will be get familiar in next few days or in your career for sure. And this is called as bash rc file. So bash is our console, and rc simply means resource configuration file. Here you can provide all the aliases, all the shortcuts you want to have in your bash environment. Like one shortcut or alias I'm using is ll. So I can view that file using less command. I can definitely use more command as well, but more is less powerful than a less. This is the more command. I think I can use just enter to move around file, but I cannot go up. That's the only drawback with more, and that's why I will be opening a file with less. So with simple arrow down and up, I can simply move ahead or beyond. Let's go to the end of the file. And this is my ls I've created. Oops. This is our custom ll command. First I'm running a date command. After that I'm running a pwd command, and after that it's simply ls with all the parameters. Now you must be wondering about these two commands, that is tail and head.
So Chetan, you have one question from Miss Megha. What LL command is doing?
So here is the explanation for ll command. It's nothing but alias, or you can call it as a shortcut in local terms. But what it's simply doing is I am printing a date, a pwd command output, and ls command output into a simple ll command. There is no command called ll directly, and that's why I've created a command with this particular string in it. You can see this is quoted with single quotes. If I run it directly, it's gonna provide me the same output. This is specifically useful to understand what is the current date and time, because we are not going to look at at screen or whatever our clock is, and then which current directly we are currently resigning in, because when you go for ingest data analysis and so there are very long path, and that's why you do not go with the complete path mentioned in your bash prompt. That's why I've printed a pwd as well, and just a file, because that's the main intent of my command, and that's why I'm putting a ls at the end of it. So about head and tail, let's create one dummy file. Echo line 1. I hope this will print line 2 as well in the next line. Let's try out. I believe I should be using -e switch. Okay, so likewise I can create a file. So this is just, well, I hope you must be knowing a /n, that is new line, which is used in Linux. This simply represents Linux, and when I'm executing this command, it simply means line 1 enter line 2, just as an indication, just for a reference. Let me check the query.
So Shiv, you can go ahead with the question.
Hey Shiv, can you please explain me on the catch operator?
Yeah, Mr. Joshi. My question is, for example, here in this command, we're writing echo dash e line 1 backslash n line 2, and then this gradient operator and file 1. So before that, you mentioned catch and then file. So you are creating file with a catch, right?
No, cat is just to, this is the one, right? Cat and
Oh
not
no, before
CPC.
the very beginning, you used catch 1, 2, 3, and then ABCD.
That was touch, and those are for the file names.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay, it's visible on
Yes.
the screen now. So
Yes,
it's a
yes, yes,
touch
yes.
command, and it simply create a new file, create new empty file. That's the main purpose of it. It can be
So,
changed.
so I mean to ask you, like, for example, right now you are writing echo. So what if we replace this greater sign operator with the touch? Would do the same function?
You mean to say touch 1, 2, 3, and then create a new file? How it looks
No.
like?
For example, now we are writing a command echo.
Mm-hmm.
So like echo line what we want in the file, and then this greater than sign, the operator, and then
Mm-hmm.
file 1. So if we replace this greater sign with the touch, would it do the same function? Yes. If we're writing here
And
before
then
the
just
file,
touch.
yeah, touch. Oh yes. Is it working? It is doing the same function, right?
But
I doubt.
maybe Chetan, you need to
Touch
explain the redirection symbols. Then
2.
he will understand why the touch and the greater than
I'm
symbol
not
is
sure
not the
what's
same.
exactly happening, but it's probably just modifying a system modified a time for this particular file. That's only I could understood for now, as per this line.
Okay.
Or it's maybe simply printing the content, because as we can see, it's echo -e, that means executing a command. So even if I've mentioned or executing a command from this one, but anything after that will also get print. So even if I write echo and touch, it will simply print touch, but it does not run any command. As an
I
example, where we
understand,
can
because
have
equal. I mean, I understand the equal is the command for only calling the file, right?
echo is to print anything on the terminal.
Okay.
It's similar like a print.
Whatever input you give to the echo command, it will simply print it as an output to the terminal.
Okay.
That's the only goal for echo.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
But next things we can do, like 123 QWE, and I can have this pasted in file 2. I would like to use echo-e. Oh, that's what I have missed on /n. That's it, very simple command, echo with -e parameter. And yes, we are writing a file or overwriting a file. Now what if I want to append a file, any particular file? Let's see, cat file 1. Let's append all this text after this one. How we can do it? Let's see, cat file 1 override operator file 2. So here is the override operator. I'm reading all the content from file 1 and appending to the file 2. Override operator. And it's mainly used for, again, when you're performing ng-state analysis, you are reading for something, but you also want to append your results in a specific file. That's where you can use the override operator. And this is my security system. Okay, next command, mkdir. I'm not exactly going by flow, but definitely just moving around all these basic commands. Okay, let's see what we have currently. We have all the files as of now, and let's create a folder, mkdir folder 1. Oh, by the way, I'm clearing a screen just in blink of eyes, and that's using a keyboard shortcut, Control L. Use Control L to clear out your current screen, specifically when you're working with BOSS and you don't want to see what's your last command. Okay, so I've created a folder. How we can differentiate a folder between a file, and it's not just a name, but it's mainly with the starts with D as a character. So D simply means directory. As we have learned in our last lecture, D means directory, and directory is a terminology in Linux terms, and folder is in Windows terms. That's how we can differentiate a folder versus a file. And let's go to that folder. Again, whosoever using this Linux for the first time, do not type in complete file name or folder name. Just try to make it as short as possible and just press tab button. As soon as you press tab button, it will simply auto-complete the required text. That's how you can speed up your typing speed as well, specifically in the Linux terminal. Okay, so where are we right now? pwd. We're at my home folder, LLB folder, and then folder 1. My favorite command, ll. And we can definitely create a few commands here as well. Let's try some mv and cp. Let's try first command, cp file 1 to .ll cat Okay, so what we have just did is Control L to clear your screen. Yes, correct. Okay, and cp command is simply shortcut for copy. So it's a cp command. I'm copying a file one from our previous directory and keeping it in the current directory. That's where a single dot. And once I've done that, I can see a file one is being copied and pasted to our current directory called folder one. Once it is done, I've just cat, that is viewed a file, and I've also checked if this is not being removed from the previous directory. And now I would like to move file 2 to our current directory. What is the command? Of course, it's gonna be mv /or. Let's to home, my name, LLB, file 2 to our current directory, or I can as well name as home LLB folder 1. So I can make use of both the types basically here. I can use a relative path. That means we are going with just double dot slash or with the folder name slash instead of using a complete path. But the second way of doing it is using complete path. I want to move file 2 from this directory to this particular directory, which is our current directory, by the way. And that's where we can see file 2. Now let's try to view our last directory. And here you can see previously our command was showing file 2 was present in our last directory, but right now it is not present. It's because we have moved a file from our last directory to the current directory location. What if I want to copy a file 1 to my home directory? Let's see, cp file 1. Remember this tilde and slash. This simply means home directory, and my home directory will have the file 1, but I'm not doing that because I don't want it right now. But just for reminder, tilde and slash meaning your home directory. And then rm we have just looked at. I want to remove file A, file B.
Chetan, maybe you can mention the control C here.
Sure. So, oops, control C, control C. Okay, thank God I saved it. I want to do rm, or maybe it's any command you are running. Maybe you're customized any tool, or you are running any command like Galaxy or something. And if you want to simply abort that software at any point in time, maybe it's because of your RAM or hard disk issue, or it's maybe just because you want to shut down and go and enjoy the weekend. Whatever it is, if you want to cancel a program, you can simply type in Control and C. It will print a message like this if you're at the line. Even if you're typing anything and you know for sure that this is not command, you can simply press Control C so that it will give you a new prompt. Why this is required? It's simply because it's gonna kill the current command, whatever you are typing in, and you will have the new prompt to run the next command. That's what the Control C. Now rm a, and that's it. I've deleted a file A with rm command. Now mkdir to create a folder 2. Mkdir folder 3, rmdir folder 2. Okay, got the difference. So mkdir meaning creating a directory or making a directory, whereas rmdirs mean simply removing a directory. So mkdir versus rmdir to create and remove directory accordingly. Simple enough commands. More or less we have just checked. What do we have? Pipe. Let's see. Let's go for the pipe. Let's get a good example. I have cat, my home folder, bash rc file. Okay, before that I would like to, well, with cat command I'm definitely gonna see my complete file, which is this one, and then I want to know how many lines I have in this particular file. So I can definitely do it by wc-l, l meanings how many lines are present, and a file name, and I'll get this particular 127 count, that's the line number. Yes, I can see recording is progressing right now. And so I'm currently doing some mix on my file, or maybe I am just traversing my output. I'm just traversing my sequencing file for an example. And at this point in time, I would like to know how many lines I can see. So that's where the pipe command is all about. I can pipe it and pipe it for a next command. So whatever the output from this command, from the cat command, it will be redirected to the second command called wc-l. And that's where I'm getting the same output as 27. The pipe is get interesting when I go forward, like I'll use last command, but I just want to use or see my aliases. Here it is. I want to know what is the default line it will show if I do a tail command. I can now pipe it to wc-l. So this confirms tail command will give me last 10 lines of my file. What if I want to have first 10 lines? Then I can use head, and again I can do wc-l, and I can see it's printing me 10 lines from the starting of the file. Okay, the interesting things, I have a second parameter tel-n and 20. N meanings the line number, how many line number I would like to see. And again, just for viewing purpose, I'm getting to wc-l, that is line count. I can see I can have 20. I can definitely change this number to 21 or so, and that's where it will provide me all those lines. Okay, so now I would like to search for my ll command. I can have grep, single quote, double quote, find ll. So you can see first, I am viewing a file, then I'm viewing specific lines from it, and then I'm searching for it. Why I'm doing this? Just for an example purpose, because it's my will, but we don't need to do that, all these things. We can simply grep and then ll and then file name, that is -rc. Okay, I have multiple ll at present, but here is the small difference. If I use a grep with direct file name, and if I just sort my output as per my requirement. So commands can be many, commands can be used in multiple different ways. It's up to you on how you would like to use it. Even in the sequence analysis, you will encounter multiple situations like this, but it's up to you on how you can use this command effectively. So instead of cat, I could have done directly tell and then grep to ll. Even that is also fine. That would have also given me the same output, but it's all about how you are processing your output. Cat is usually useful because it's giving you complete file in just one pipe. So you can process any of the document just going forward. And specifically when you want to create a specific bash scripting, for example, if you want to create a shell script, and if you have a complete file with you, it's a bit easy to manage all the data in just one go. And that's why you can use pipe operator. And WC we have checked. Redirecting to a file, which is basically creating a new file or redirecting output. Okay. Awk is not possible today. Even I'm not that quite expert in awk. Maybe Vikram can take it, or maybe next time we can be prepared a bit and then we can have session on awk separately. It's more advanced than Grep, I would say. And a very basics from this one I have just covered on the pipe. And then redirection, a single operator, meaning the override a complete file. Then double greater than sign, meaning append to existing file. Definitely it can create a new file as well. This symbol is used comparatively less times, but you can definitely use it. It's basically to provide a input file. So if you're writing a long for or if statement, and if you want to provide any input for it, you can make use of less than operator. That is the input operator. Standard error, a good example. I'm running some command which is not existed. It will try to search. It will not find anything. And then it will print me command not found error. How can I confirm if this is the error or this is output for this particular command? I can simply say 2 greater than 2 err dot txt. Okay, so any Linux command you run, there are 3 different types of output you can get from any command you run, and that's basically 0, 1, and 2. These are the output code, we can say. 0, if we get 0 in Linux term, it usually means success. That means your command has run successfully. Command output is mentioned in 1, that is standard output, and the error, if you're getting while running any command, you will get that in standard error. So I believe it's in I've used a couple of commands from ingest sequence analysis, and we used to do all well the commands or that tools are configured to use these standard parameters so that end user can know if there is any problem with our sequence analysis. So for example, I was running a BWA or some tool, and or maybe as simple as converting a FASTQ to FASTA, and I would like to know if the command is being successful or not. And with just this output, I will not know this is output or this is a standard error they are printing. So that's where I can have the error, that is standard error, written to the error or any of the file which I would like to name it. And with that, I will know if there is any error while executing this particular command. Of course, this is not a command, and that's why it is expected output to be visible in the standard error. But this 1 and 2 statuses are specifically useful when you are running a command and you would like to know if there is any error while you're running that particular command. So that's where you can use a command and then simply to and greater than operator, or you can as well use double greater than operator and then any file name. This will simply give you the standard error. I believe that is it all for now. If anything is remaining, maybe I can cover it in the next time. But yes, this is the basic crux of it. You do have this PDF as well with you already, so you can run these commands and let me know if you face any issue. And that is it from my end. I would like to stop at this point in time. Feel free to raise any questions we have right now.
Chetan, we do have a foreground and background jobs, right?
Yes, but I think that I'll cover in next time maybe.
Okay.
So I can
Okay.
come up with some specific commands.
Okay.
And for next time, even AWK as well we can cover, but let's see.
Okay. So guys, let us know if you have any questions. And I think it's you haven't explained what is tail or grep, because some of the people here they haven't attended the previous class. So maybe you can explain bit about tail and grep.
Okay, I'll do that quickly. So tell meaning print me the output or last 10 lines from the file. Print me the last 10 lines from a file. I have a bash rc file created at my home directory. It's of course present in each and every user's home directory, but I want to have, or I want to read specific last 10 lines from the command, and that's where I can use tell command. I'm using a switch to increase those lines, and that's how I'm reading currently 21 lines with -n switch. But basically tell command is used to print all those lines which are from the bottom or end of the file till last 21 for example. And for grep is very beautiful. It's most used in a shell scripting tool. Grep is simply meaning you catch a word, whatever we are mentioning in single quotes or double quotes. Grep is used so that even in 1,000 line or 1 lakh lines of a file, I can simply search a word using a simple grep command. It's a very powerful one, and Vikram Vittal has demonstrated nicely in our last session. So grep is basically used to search for any kind of text or any kind of number. You can as well use regular expression to search your pattern with simple grep command. Is this clear? Anyone having query?
Does anyone has a queries? So I have one more question from the students' behalf.
Mhm.
What does it mean LH? What is the function of LH? It's hierarchical listing or something like that?
Slash -l. Let's see, but this one I'll have -h. So when I mention -h meaning human readable, that is, if the file size in KB, MB, or GB, it will automatically convert from the bytes.
Okay.
That is -h switch. And I'm using -l, it's simply meaning long listing format. So if I simply do ls, will give me output in just one single line. And I may not know if this is a folder or a file or if it's a special kind of file, and that's where I can use a long listing.
Okay.
And with these parameters, I will know if this is a directory or a file and its contents. I'm not sorry, not content, but its properties.
Okay. Does Linux are case sensitive? Because I see ls small h and ls and caps h. So is it case
Yes, correct.
sensitive? Okay.
It is case sensitive.
Okay.
You can see small a meanings we are printing all the details,
Mm,
but if you're using -a, it is ignoring something. So definitely we do have case sensitivity in Linux.
okay. Okay. Sure. So guys, you have any questions from your side? Anybody? If you have a question, kindly press the hand button on your side. I hope there are no questions. Okay. So I guess we believe there are no questions. So really thank you so much, Chetan, for the wonderful session, and also we thank every students for joining today, and we request everyone to give a feedback with a given link here, so it will be really helpful for to improve our further sections. But please give your feedback, because every time three or four people are giving suggestion and the rest of them are ignoring it. So kindly give the feedback. So thank you so much, guys, and have a nice weekend.
Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Please to inform on what you would like to have next in your sessions and what you would like to know for the next time, and that's how we can improve it accordingly. That's how we can help you at that level. So yes, please to mention your feedback in the feedback link. We'll also mention this link in WhatsApp group or Telegram group. And yeah, thank you for your time. Enjoy your weekend.
And mainly mention in the general comment section, like general feedback, like what you are expecting for the next session, so that we can make a course schedule, something like that. Yeah. So that's all for today. So we are winding up. So good evening, guys. See you. Have a nice weekend.